Thank you and welcome. I'm so happy that we are celebrating together. And we are celebrating a number of different things today. First and foremost, we are celebrating the life of one of Jesus' faithful servants, Helen D'Amico. We are also celebrating our time together in this mission church. All of us here today, well, most of us here today, have been friends for a very, very long time. We are adding a new friend, our new acolyte who is among us. Ronald, say hello.
Hello.
And you may also be seated for this reading, so sit, enjoy, relax. Isaiah read beautifully by Robert today. Aside from the amazing voice that he shared, his pronunciation's impeccable, the true mark of both an educator and librarian, but his inflections, his tone, but most of all, his faith, that has been evident since the first moment I've met him. His words, Isaiah's words, are challenging words. They're about anguish today. They're about the need to dispel the darkness. Isaiah is predicting what the Gospel of Matthew will herald. David, my dear friend for over 30 years, in his booming voice, read St. Paul's letter at Corinth. Powerful words as well. The idea that division is among us and that people don't know where to turn. They're not sure where to find Jesus because they're confused. Paul will talk about baptizing only two in his name. Very different outlook of where we are. My dear Darrell read the Psalm, Psalm 27. Our hope for the future. The Lord is our light and our salvation. Robert lighting the altar candles today. After both he and Rashid lit candles of hope, of salvation, of faith. Today's gospel is a challenging one for me in many ways. It begins with a sublime line. When we read the gospel, and we read it from something called the lectionary, it's like walking into a movie halfway through. Why does it start here? How does it connect? What happened last week? And if you missed that in this third week now in ordinary time, last we met, Jesus was baptized by St. John. And he objected to it. St. John saying, I should not baptize you. You're the Lord. And Jesus made it very clear, no, I am one of you as well. In essence, I am both divine and human. And you have to do this. Aside from being my cousin, they are first cousins, it is something that Jesus loved about John. His gentleness, his goodness, his oddity, which was very pronounced back then. He lived in the desert. He ate locusts or bugs, and very often ran around naked. I really wish you would have met him. He sounds like a blast. But he's arrested today. And that word is always very meaningful to me. Why is St. John arrested? Was it his oddities? Was it that he did not fit into society? That he lived on the margins? Could have been. I'm sure it made it easier. But his crime is one that was very clear and very focused at the time. He challenges the king. The king is having an affair with his sister-in-law. And he tells the king and everyone, this is not right. You're breaking one of the commandments. You shouldn't be doing this. So he would be arrested. He would be imprisoned. And later on, you all should know the end of that story. The wedding gift of the king from his new bride is St. John's head on a silver platter. But it makes me think about all the stories of today. Division. A march in almost every city of the world. People lost, people confused. My dear friend David honored me with the ability to very brief service at the funeral of Lola. Coffin was closed, it took me by surprise. And he rushed me a little bit. You're gonna get traffic, so just do a service and then you could go on your way, which wasn't my plan, but it worked out to be very, very beautiful. It was done, like St. John, a little bit out of the ordinary. People were not seated. David made everyone line up by the photos of his grandmother, which was really beautiful. I got to talk to your stepmom for a great deal of time before that. And she talked about at least the last 7 years being Helen's direct caretaker, being there every day. But I also asked, and it's something that Daryl has taught me to do over and over again, tell me about some fun times. Tell me about some of the more enjoyable things you did. We would have a lunch date. I would love going to lunch with Helen. We would, I said, did you have a favorite place? Nope. We tried something new every time. And I said to myself, that's the call of Jesus. Be different. Do something new every time. Take a chance. The gospel of Jesus today starts with John being arrested. There is no more commentary from Jesus about that. Clearly they were very close. They grew up together. He loved John, but he doesn't say anything now. Right before this, or during this arrest, Jesus was away. He was in the desert for 40 days. He would be tempted by the devil. He would be tempted with all of the human needs that we have. 40 days, you must be hungry. You're the Son of God. Turn that rock into bread. Then his comment is a simple one. We do not live by bread alone. The devil would say, after that, 2 other temptations. One that's always amazed me as powerful. He would take them to the top of the temple and say, interesting to see Satan quote scripture. Scripture has it that if you least stumble upon a stone, the angels will come and catch you. Throw yourself off. Let's see if they come. You will not test my Father. Doesn't do that. And then Satan brings him to the height of the world. All this is mine, and I will give it to you. All you need to do is just bow to me. You will worship only one God, my God. So Jesus has a rough 40 days. He comes back, and his cousin is in jail. It does not stop him. It does not deter him. He walks along the Sea of Galilee and says, it's time to start. It's time to build my followers. It's time to have people start this revolution that I am going to do. Simon Peter is the first one. Come, follow me, drop those nets. Jesus said, I will make you fishers of men. It should have been fishers of people, but we weren't there yet, but we're getting there. The second one is one that always threw me off a little. It's Zebedee's both boys. They were in the boat with him, working with their dad. And he yells out to them, come on, leave him, follow me. That was probably my most challenging call to ministry. Leaving family. And for nearly 4 years, I did leave family and went to Pennsylvania. And worked really hard doing that. I missed all those Christmases, all those Easters. Mom would come with me now and again, Daryl as well, but it was still a challenge. But I don't talk about those challenges because that's what you do for God. Those are secrets between you and God. I am not the only follower of Jesus in this room. Every single one of you. And I have known you all so long, and in wonderful times, and challenging times, and beautiful times, and hard times. I'm just getting to know my newest accolade, Ronald. One of the first persons to participate in the sacrament of reconciliation, confession, here at the mission. It's one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had. You have touched my heart with your goodness and grace. And you as well know great loss. But you have stayed steadfast to your faith. We are disciples of Christ. I've watched you two raise a child in the past 2 years and the challenges that that took. I don't think that the words of Jesus are clear. It is not drop everything and forget about everything in the past. The call is to go follow him, to be like him in the midst of those we love, in the midst of a beautiful grandmother on that stage with all the glitter and glory. Don't throw away God, but be more than a follower. Be more than someone that just admires God. Be like God. Be the presence of Jesus to all that you come to know, all that you come to be and do. Because that was the call of Jesus. Zebedee could not have been prouder of both of his sons. Just like Kitty can't be more proud of me being part of his. One of the first masses she is not at. She was out very late last night with her first son, having a good party. And my brother, who I adore dearly, sent me a happy birthday text with the photograph of his youngest daughter, who turned 18 just last week. We celebrated when we were there in Florida, and her new tattoo. So you know how that went with Kitty. So she's resting today, which is a good thing. But the whole point of Jesus, follow me, no matter what. Be like John the Baptist, be different. Eat bugs. Walk around with no clothes on. Don't be afraid of getting arrested. And I know something about that as well. Life itself is a great challenge. Without question, I loved my 20 years as a cop. But I too was a little bit odd, like St. John. I didn't eat too many bugs. Well, maybe some chocolate covered ones I may have had. But I did things differently in my way. I stood up for who I was, and I am proud of that. More and more and more. I loved that job. I loved working that job with my dear friend David, Helen's grandson, and we were actually very good at it. David's got a new call, and I know your grandmother's watching over you. David is back from where he started, back in a theory of the criminal justice system that's called corrections, trying to help people from the mistakes that they have made. Where St. John was. You have a great gift, and you have great support around you. Use it to do good. Use it to stand up for what's right. You always have. But now more than ever, know that someone that you love very much is watching over you. Two people, Helen and Jesus. So the call becomes all the more powerful that we have to be followers of Jesus.